All right, we're here. We did it. What are you looking at? You look like Schefter there. Got some breaking news.
I gotta go. I gotta go report something.
No, I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
This is it. Week 17 has come quicker than me. I'm just gonna stop that right there.
Thank you. Thank you for stopping that.
It's here. Season finale is among us in a meaningless game between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions to determine who will be the cellar dweller in the NFC North and who's going to end up with a top 10 pick.
Yeah, I can't wait. You know, we're sitting here waiting for the inactives to come out. And I think it's going to be, I hope there's some excitement to who these inactives are. Let's put it that way.
Well, if there's any shockers, then you'll know the Vikings' intentions in this game. If you see, Kirk Cousins inactive or something like that, I'm feeling then you know damn well the Vikings are just calling this a shit game and letting all the young guys go out there and see what they can do. But we touched on it before. I mean, there's some things that can happen that we should be excited to watch in this game right here. Justin Jefferson, 47 yards needed for the Vikings rookie receiving record. And he's 111 yards away for the most rookie receiving yards since the merger. So a couple of records Jefferson can shoot for today.
Inactives are out, and I'm upset.
What we got?
I'm very upset.
That was the text I was getting.
Vikings inactive. Chris Jones will make you happy. Cam Dantzler, not surprising. Dalvin Cook, we knew that. Eric Kendricks. Kyle freaking Hinton is inactive.
The hell's the point of calling him up then?
Jalen Holmes and Ifedio Denabo. Man, that really chaps my ass.
Holmes and Odenabo. So you're going to see a lot of DJ Wanham. Probably see some Jordan Brailford today.
I'm sorry, I need to collect my thoughts here. I was really banking this entire week on seeing just a glimpse of Kyle Hinton. And we don't get to. Other thing, Dan Bailey is active. He was on the injury report. We had that. What's his name?
Taylor Bertolet is not. So looks like Bailey will be kicking today.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be really good. A lot we can learn from that.
I'm so mad about Kyle Hinton.
It is what it is. Maybe he just didn't look ready in practice this week.
Yeah, maybe. Other ones, Kendricks inactive, as we probably knew, but Todd Davis and Troy Dye are active, so maybe we won't see as much as Blake Lynch. And I was really hoping to see some Blake Lynch.
Yeah, you were like the leader of the Blake Lynch fan club. It's pretty obvious on that one. Yeah. This is kind of just looking like the Vikings are rolling out their normal lineup for the most part. I mean, without your top two DNs going. Other than that, I think the Vikings, everything I'm seeing right now, smelling, feeling, I think they want to win this game.
Well, I think they're going to come out ready to go, just as they always do, depending on which way this turns. If it's a close game, I mean, who knows what happens? I think there's still a chance second half that they just kind of call it good, depending on how it goes. If everybody's playing well, they come out in offense, first team defense, has some very good drives. I could see it being preseason style, and they say, "Great, good way to end on a high note. Let's see some Sean Mann to the Mannion." Woo!
Nobody wants to see that.
No, they don't. I don't want to see Sean Mannion, but I do think there's a good chance we're still going to see some guys that we normally wouldn't, even though Kyle Hinton is inactive, and I'm going to talk about it all damn day.
Well, I mean, the Vikings are going to start with their starters and then go from there, make changes. If they do get up big, if the Lions aren't trying, then I do think we'll probably see Sean Mannion. Hopefully not till the end of the fourth quarter, taking a knee, but I'm sure I have a feeling we're going to see him throw a pass today. We got the Detroit inactives. Curious to see who was out there.
Still looking at Kyle Hinton. Yeah, let me pull him up. So we'll see Rashad Hill at left tackle.
Boring.
They already said that. Here's the Lions. Lions inactives. Kenny Galladay. We knew that. Tyrell Crosby out. Joe Dahl out. Jamie Collins out. Albert Huggins is out. Logan Stenberg and Bobby Price.
So the guy at Frank Ragnow on his throat must be a little bit better.
Yeah, we're going to get to see Matthew Stafford. Maybe his last time as a Detroit Lion. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. I would be more surprised if he is back than if he's not. The Lions, the biggest worry for the Vikings got to be stopping the run. Adrian Peterson, DeAndre Swift. You got to think the Lions are going to be feeding the ball heavy to them, just seeing what the Vikings have done, especially last week against the Saints, giving no resistance whatsoever against the run. So I do expect the Lions to come out running the football today.
Yeah, but I also expect, Matt Stafford, he doesn't know what his future is. In the back of his mind could possibly be the thought that this might be his last time in Detroit. I think he's going to come out fired up. I don't care if it sounds like every part of his body is injured and hurting. I think he's going to come out ready to go. I'm a little worried about that.
Well, and he's got the Vikings killer to throw to, Marvin Jones Jr. So he's been pretty gentle against the Vikings so far this season. So don't be surprised if he explodes for one of his 4 touchdown games. I do expect this to be a high scoring game. There's not a lot of defense on either side of the football. So I do think this is going to be kind of a shootout. So it might be a fun one to go out on, fun one to watch. A lot of fireworks here.
Yeah, if for some reason this team comes out completely flaccid and limp, Mike Zimmer should be very terrified after the game. If they come out completely dead, especially if it's the starters and then you're just not wanting to be there, that's going to say a lot from Mr. Zimmer.
Well, dead, and I think what's going to be worse is if the Lions go up 14-0 and there's a lot of infighting, finger pointing, some ugliness there. If there's any kind of signs that Zimmer's lost this team, then I think he should be worried about his job in the offseason. If the team comes up firing, plays well, plays hard, he's fine. He'll be here next year.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be an interesting one to watch. You mentioned some records right off the bat. Go over that again. I blacked out from Kyle Hinton.
Justin Jefferson, 44 receiving yards away from setting the Vikings rookie record.
Oh, he'll get that.
He is 111, I believe it was, away from setting just the NFL receiving record for yards since the merger. So a couple things old JJ can shoot for today.
Oh, one other thing on the inactives, Alexander Madison is active, back from that concussion. So we were thinking we might see a heavy dose of Boontang and Amir Abdullah. Maybe we actually get a big old dose of Madison, which we really have not seen much at all this year.
Haven't seen him much since the Seattle game. Even when he started against the Falcons, things did not go well there. And I think Madison, he needs to go out on a big game. He's kind of had a down year, a disappointing season with his injuries and just lack of use, lack of production. Many people were expecting to see him get more, I don't want to say half the load, but like maybe at least a quarter of it. It just seems like when he isn't out there and Mike Boone is, they tend to give Boone the ball more. So we'll see what happens. I still think we'll see plenty of Mike Boone. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, another big question is, as of now, Ngakoue leads this team with 5 sacks, even though he hasn't played for the Vikings in like 15 weeks, whatever it is. DJ Wanham got a tough task ahead of him. He needs to get 2 sacks to tie him.
Oh, he can do it.
I hope so.
And I hope he does. Yeah. Another guy you want to talk about who's due for a big game is DJ Wanham. He's been kind of quiet the last couple of weeks. So I think he will be motivated to, finish on a high note. Your boy, the Ginger Snap, like to see him in there a little bit more this week. Why not? Shamar Stephen and Julio Johnson are both going to be gone. This will be their final game in purple. And it might be Shamar Stephen's final game in the NFL. So
it's not nice.
Why not see what the Ginger Snap can do? See more Hercules Matafa. See more Armon Watts. I don't care. I've seen enough of those two starting in the middle.
Yeah, I've seen pretty much enough of everybody on this defensive line except for DJ Wanham. Everybody else is just mildly gross to me at this point. But my hope is that in this game, even though we're going to end up either 6-10, 7-9, end on some sort of note, maybe if it's not even a win, but just somebody just really steps up and gets some sort of excitement going. DJ Wanham's a perfect example. Justin Jefferson breaking the record. Jeff Gladney getting his first interception. Harrison Hand having 9 interceptions, which I'm completely expecting.
That's something he's got to be starting with Chris Jones out, Dantzler's out. You got to think Harrison Hand's number 2 corner today, right? Unless I'm completely brain farting on somebody.
No, because Chris Boyd's on the IR.
Yeah. So, and again, and not only is he getting promoted because of injury, he's actually kind of earned it. I've been pretty impressed with him the last couple of weeks. Why not see more of this guy? He's Temple tough. We all know that.
Temple tough.
But his coverage is always pretty solid. Doesn't always, swat the ball away, but he's a lot closer to his man than Chris Jones has been. He's shown some ball hawk ability. and he's always willing to come up and make a tackle. So yeah, he's the hawk shot. Harrison Hand.
He's the hawk shot. Glad you brought up corners, and glad that I actually took the chance to look. Tankersley, active. We're going to see him today.
Well, hope he does. Hopefully he doesn't tank.
Hey-o.
Let's see.
Yeah, we could see with our depth chart the way it is right now, and with the inactives with Jones and Danzler, Stafford, I don't care who's the receiver, he's going to put up some yards today. And Tankersley, he hasn't played yet this year. He's been on our practice squad, cut by the Dolphins. That's going to be quite the test for Mr. Tankersley.
Will it be worse than having Chris Jones out there? I don't think so. So it is what it is. Let's go back. I mean, let's talk safety. Obviously, Harrison Smith will be going full bore in this one. Anthony Harris is a guy I think should have a short leash. If he's up there, Adrian Peterson comes through the middle and he doesn't try to tackle him right away, I'm yanking him off the field. Don't want to see him.
I don't blame him getting out of the way there.
I would much rather just see Josh Metellus go out there and, if he steps on his dick, fine. I don't care. I've seen enough of Anthony Harris. He doesn't want to be here anymore. You can tell it was obvious in the Saints game. So if you see a sign of that again today, then pull him. Go with somebody else.
Yeah, I'll have to raise a beard to old Anthony Harris today, even though he didn't have a fantastic year. This is definitely his last game as a Viking, barring some sort of miracle. But yeah, that after last week, it's just tough to even talk about Anthony Harris, to be honest.
Yeah, one thing we should mention, you mentioned about the team coming out flat or fired up. When you see them, was it getting on the bus today or on the plane to go to the stadium? A lot of them talking with Delvin Cook and his father. So they could be inspired to play their best just in honor of their teammate, who tragically lost his dad this week. So that's something that could motivate this team and, get that fire up their butt, play for Delvin. So I think that's something definitely that could come into a factor in this game.
Yeah, he's you can tell he is very, very loved by his teammates. So you could see that. And maybe Madison just goes out and busts a nut out there and busts loose, but he'll have to do it, like we said, behind. I don't know. Reef is active. Man, this whole Kyle Hinton thing just has me
flummoxed.
Although when he's on the COVID list, I don't know if they actually count that inactive.
I don't know. Is he off the COVID list?
I'm going to look up Reef.
I'm sure you spell it right. If you put a QU in the front of that, you're going to get something different.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, let's talk about the O-line. Garrett Bradbury is someone we don't talk about a lot. Looked really, really good. I would even say 3/4 through the season. Last couple of weeks, not so great. You kind of seen a little bit of the Garrett Bradbury from last year getting pushed around. Still a great run blocker, but another guy. We're talking about guys going out on a high note. I'd like to see Garrett Bradbury just have a dominating performance, get his PFF grade, whether you believe in that or not, somewhere at least in the 80s to finish on a high note.
Yeah, Reef's not playing, by the way.
All right.
Yeah, Garrett Bradbury, love to see him going on a high note. Ezra Cleveland, even though he's not at the position he's going to be at, having him just be very good. Adam Thielen, what is he, 150 yards away from 1,000 yards? I'd love to see him hit that 1,000-yard mark. And then defensively, I kind of already blew my load on these guys, but Harrison Hand, Jeff Gladney, just not going out on a shitty game. Get that confidence high, get it high going into the off season.
Yeah, and Gladney, especially coming off a pretty bad game against the Saints, just missed a bunch of tackles. His coverage was hit or miss, but he couldn't tackle anybody if his life depended on it. So I'd like to see him come back and, wrap up well, because he's been a good, solid tackler all season long. Was him and Dancer's strengths, I think, has been their tackling. So you want to see him come out, finish strong, improving in that area where he kind of faltered last week. Special teams, Dan Bailey, a chance to, again, ending on a high note, ending with a good taste in your mouth. Hit all your kicks, don't miss an extra point. And if he does miss an extra point, are we going to quit trying again? Are we going to start going for 2 every time? It's a meaningless game. So if you get any sense that he's got the yips, go for 2. Why the hell not?
Yeah, or put Britton Colquitt out there. I'd love to see anybody kick a field goal other than Dan Bailey at this point. And there's going to be guys auditioning to come back next year. I mean, guys like we just signed, like Tankersley, like a hot Todd Davis.
Todd freaking Davis.
These are guys that are going to want to go on a high note and hopefully get a chance to come back next year.
Yeah. I see we got a question here from Nick Hacksaw Jim Dugan. He asked, what new young name on defense are you most hoping to see their name called today? We kind of touched on this a little bit, but give me somebody.
You already know mine. I want to see some more Blake Lynch, baby. Blake
know.
Lynch, Harrison Hand, and Brailford.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Brailford get back there with Odenabo inactive. Hell yeah.
Yeah, to me, it's Harrison Hand, Brailford. Brailford flashed, and I want to see him do it again. It'd be interesting to see who's actually going to start opposite Wanham. I feel like I'm missing somebody, but if Holmes and Odenabo are inactive,
Eddie Yarbrough. Another guy, Troy Dye. It would be great to see him just like have a pass deflect or something. Anything Troy Dye, I will welcome with open arms.
I just want to see him have sleeves on or half sleeves or something manly. Get him a neck
shoulder
roll.
Pads.
Get one of those like suits that look like you have muscles. Wear that under his jersey or something.
Got the Rydell shoulder pads from Walmart.
He is just a stick out there. Sam Bradford was more intimidating looking when he was on the field than Troy Dye is. So
it's not polite.
But I mean, obviously, you talk about disappointing rookies, and Troy Dye's got to be toward the top of the list with KJ Osborne, who apparently is active today. I did not see him on the inactive list, so maybe they're going to try him one more time. Of all the rookies, I'm going to go up through the fifth round. I mean, KJ Osborne is the one to me who I don't think his future on this team is safe one bit. If he actually is back on the team, I would be more shocked than if he wasn't. So he needs to show something, whether it's on a return. It's going to have to be on a return because I don't think he's going to be out there with the offense.
You're asking a lot. You're asking a lot from KJ Osborne. Some former Vikings. You already mentioned AP. Probably his last year in Detroit. I'm sure he'll bounce up somewhere next year. He always does. But Everson Griffin going against Rashad Hill. Rashad Hill should have a little bit of shit in his pants. Everson Griffin seems quite fired up, and I'm sure going against the Vikings will only help add fuel to that fire.
There's two things I think you got to factor in going against Everson Griffin. Not only got to worry about his talent, his speed, the shit he's got to say during game. You might be laughing your ass off when you're trying to block him because God knows what he's going to say, what he's going to do to your mom, to your sister. I can only imagine the shit that comes out of Everson Griffin's mouth in a game. So Rashad Hill is going to probably have to battle a case of the giggles and worry about Everson Griffin's talent.
Yeah, but Rashad Hill, it seems like when you play him in a pinch, he does very well. If you try to play him for a couple of games in a row, he starts to show the fact that why he's a backup. But when you play him just one-offs, he does pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like he's better coming off the bench, though. When he gets to start is when he seems like he really sucks. So, again, he's got a tall task ahead of him with Everson, who, in the beginning of the season, he is fired up and motivated as ever.
And SSM Creations hitting on Osborne playing at wide receiver possibly. I'm on board with that. I mentioned that in our pregame. Why not have him go to receiver? He played a lot of receiver at Miami. Our depth is crap at receiver. Yeah, we got Chad Beebe, BC Johnson, but I'd love to see him out there.
I want to know what SSM creates. I want to know what he creates.
Magic.
Wow.
Magic.
Huh. Yeah. So, I mean, again, meaningless football game, but plenty to watch for, plenty to look for, plenty to see. Let's talk about where the Vikings could end up in the draft with a win or a loss, because it's not a huge range, but it is could be a costly range because good chance they miss out on some prospects if they win this football game.
Well, yeah, and not only miss out on prospects, but if they end up losing and getting that 10th pick, or I think the highest they can get, 9?
Yep.
Think of the trade value they're going to have there. We lost that second round pick for Mr. Ngakoue. Something tells me that old Slick Rick is going to want that second round pick real, real bad. And if that means trading back a little bit in the first round, this could have a big deciding factor if they have the chance to do that.
It all depends on who's there, though. You don't want to miss out on a Kwity Paye or a Greg Russo, someone who can be that premier edge rusher opposite Daniel Hunter. To me, those are the two main targets if you're inside the top 10, unless a quarterback falls. But you definitely want to get your hands on one of those. If they're not there, absolutely, especially if it's a quarterback and you're not sold on the guy who's there. Trey Lance is getting mixed reviews. No one knows really where he's going to end up in the draft. He could be round 2 for all I know. But if some teams got a boner for him, gives you a future first and a second this year, absolutely snap that kind of a deal up. Because, like we said earlier in this week, you can find value all throughout the draft. Look at the Vikings got one of the best players from last year at pick, 23 was it? So you just never know.
Yeah, and the Lions got a lot playing on this. They can get up to all the way up to pick 3. I think a lot of things have to go in their favor for that. But going from 7-3 or 7-9, I think is the lowest they can go. That's a pretty big deal too. And this could be a team looking for a quarterback. So Detroit might not be overly fired up today.
Yeah, they got they got more to gain by losing than they do by winning. I mean, you only fall back 2 spots either way. I mean, they're going to be in a good spot, but getting all the way up to 3 when you got,
especially the fact that they're going to be looking for a bright, shiny new coach, and a coach is going to be much more excited to come on board if he has a chance to get one of those quarterbacks, opposed to pick 7 where he doesn't know who the hell he's going to get. Yeah,
I mean, if the Lions do get the 3rd pick, there's a good chance we see 3 quarterbacks start this draft off in 21. So exciting to see. It's always fun when quarterbacks go first and some other really talented players get pushed down the board.
Yeah, but I'm going in this game. I want the Vikings to win. I want them to go out on a good note. Like I said, maybe we're getting too greedy here, but I want Jeff Gladden to get a pick. I want the rookies to show up, and I want to win.
Yeah, and I can lie. Like I said, I can lie and say, no, I want to lose. I won't. Once this game's going on, emotions get into it. That high life lights going down my throat. I will be rooting for the Vikings to win. It's just how I'm wired.
All right, let's see. What do you got for a bold prediction in this game? Let's see some bold predictions in the comments.
I think I'm going to say the Vikings get a return touchdown. Whether it's KJ Osborne just trying to get some kind of good film out there on himself, or Amir Abdullah getting his revenge on the Lions, Minnesota Vikings going to get a return touchdown.
Wow. I will actually fill my pants front and back if we get some sort of special teams touchdown. It doesn't even have to be a return. Any sort of special teams touchdown.
The block punt, bounce in the end zone, jump on
it. Mr. Kevo says Ngakoue is going to end the season with leading our team in sacks, and I think Mr. Kevo is pretty accurate.
Well, I don't like his negative ass attitude, but he's probably right. Good chance he's right. Mr. Kevo P. I don't know what that means.
Kevo's a realist. Nick Dugan says Mike Boone 90+ yards on the ground. Hey, last year, week 17, he had like $150 against the Bears.
And I do feel like the Vikings like Boone more than like Madison. That's just what I've seen. I don't know how else you can infer anything different at this point.
Yeah, it's been kind of a confusing season for Madison. He's had some injuries, but he's just really not been given the rock much at all.
He had some weird tweets this week too, that kind of those vague ones where you wonder what's going on there. So we'll see. I think this is probably the most important game in Alexander Madison's career.
Well, hopefully he doesn't have 3 carries and Boone just carries the load. SSM Magical Creations, bold prediction. Not only glad to get a pick, but he takes it to the house.
Wow, that would be amazing. He should have done it against the Bucks.
Got a flag. Mr. Kebble's back, says more than 2 sacks from one player would be nice to see. You're damn right. DJ Wanham getting 3.5 today. Woo-wee.
That would make Mr. Kebble upset because his prediction would be wrong.
Yeah, my bold prediction was pretty much already stolen by SSM Creations. He took it a step further. I just say Gladney. I think this is my prediction last week. I'm glad he's going to get his first pick, and it's going to be against Stafford, one of the best to ever play the position.
Yeah, he really is. You hate to see him have so many wasted years, but it's not for Stafford lack of trying. He's a gunslinger. He's tough as nails. The way that guy can throw the ball at any angle, someone's coming at him. He's just I think he's underrated too. So, as I've gotten older, I've learned to appreciate good quarterbacks when they're in your division. So same goes with Rodgers. You got to respect how good these guys are, and it's not often you get to watch these elite players play your team twice a year.
Well, he just plays, kind of doesn't give a shit. He goes out there and his shoulder is completely dislocated. Doesn't care. He's going to stay out there and play. And I like that kind of. Kirk Cousins is a fairly safe guy, so it's fun to watch these other guys. What will be interesting is if Detroit starts taking out some of their guys, all of a sudden Stafford's out and Chase Daniel's in, and they start going to their B team. I wonder if the Vikings will look at that and be like, all right, we'll do the same, or if they just pedal to the metal.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, it depends how bad the Vikings want to win this. I mean, you lose this game, you're losing 4 in a row. You're ending the season on the worst way you could possibly done it. You got embarrassed on Christmas on national TV. So there is some things that the Vikings probably don't want to go into the offseason looming over their heads. And I think a 4-game losing streak, getting destroyed on Christmas, and then losing to the shit Detroit Lions would be very, very depressing offseason.
You say shit Detroit Lions, but the Vikings are only 1 game better than them right now. So
Vikings are shit too, but the Lions are always shit.
R. Emmer says Peterson goes off for $132 touchdowns.
I could see Swift doing that. If Peterson did that, I'd be surprised. But I don't know who RM or 33 is, but he's right behind Mr. Kevel on my list.
Oh, Mr. Kevel's back. He's saying Mike Boone rushes for 100 yards.
He's a week 17 stallion is what Mike Boone is.
He is, and I was really hoping to see Kyle Hinton. Sorry, I just got to mention that one more time.
Oh, you were? I didn't know that.
Kyle Hinton, another win in my book would be that at some point in this game, Ezra Cleveland does get chucked over to left tackle for a little while.
Yeah, I don't get why you don't. Give the kid a taste. Let him know where he's going to be. But again, maybe Riley Reef comes back for one last hurrah, one last song. One of my favorite Miley Cyrus movies.
I wouldn't be upset about that one bit. I'm upset about the fact that you like that song. I wouldn't be upset if Riley Reef came back. Talk about one of the more underrated Vikings in 2020. Guy saved our ass. We could have been like 2-14.
Yeah, if he would have not restructured and left, boy, could you imagine?
Well, the worst part would be watching him play this good for like the Eagles or some random team.
Yeah, you know damn well he'd be an all-pro if he went somewhere else.
All right, what's final game prediction? Vikings were favored by 7 in this.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to move off what I said yesterday out in the forest. Thank God we made it back. I thought we were gonna have to start banging to keep warm. So I'm gonna say I think I said 37-17 or 34-17. I think the Vikings are gonna come out firing, inspired. They want to play and win for Dalvin Cook, and I think they're gonna do their damnedest to achieve that. So we don't often see the Vikings coming out ready to roll. Last time it did it was against Detroit, so I think they're going to do that again. I think the Vikings should be up like 21-zip by the start of the second quarter.
Wow. All right, you're getting very greedy. I think the Vikings win by a couple scores. I think I had 24-10. Jerdal does have a very important comment. One last dong, definitely worth mentioning. And Javin Nielsen, pretty good question.
Yeah.
Where's Oli Udoh?
It's one thing we didn't touch on today. He's been on a milk carton all season. He is active, correct? So maybe we will see Oli Udoh. It's surprising because he got that chance last year against the Bears, the season finale. He looked good. He played aggressive. He played hard. Got a penalty for jumping and dry humping on the Bears on the ground, but
deserved it. That was deserved.
Yeah, but you liked his aggression, and that's one thing the Vikings O-line was lacking is any kind of meanness, toughness, nastiness, and Udoh provided that in spades. And I don't know what happened in the offseason. I think he maybe was hurt or something, but maybe he's just not progressing as fast as everyone had hoped or anticipated he would.
Well, and it probably did come down to Oli Udoh or Kyle Hinton being active with Riley Reef out, and I guess Oli Udoh won the coin flip. I'd love to see him out there. Let's see, Manitoba Viking predicting a 43-37 Vikings victory. That is a lot of points, and I hope you're right.
That would be a fun one. Keep me on my toes. It probably will be a nail biter. That's what the Vikings are. Come down to a damn Bailey field goal.
Well, redemption, and you'll sink that thing. One of the more shocking things still this year was the fact that Matt Prater missed a field goal against the Vikings.
I was just thinking, is this the game Matt Prater is going to have 9 field goals against us, all from 50 plus?
Probably. All right, well, let's wrap this hog up. Any final thoughts before the matchup of the century?
No, I just enjoy it. This is the last Vikings game of the year. Won't be seeing them again until hopefully August, where we will get some preseason games. So this is it. This season went by in a blink of an eye, and enjoy the game.
Enjoy the game. Come back for the post game. Lupagus will be all liquored up, spewing horrible words, and we're going to wrap this game up, hopefully with a big smile on our face.
Yeah. Either way, I'll be smiling.
Woo, doggy. Studs and turds of the game. Very important.
Hell yeah.